Okay, so today we're going to look at section 12D, rates of change or slope. So my slope when I'm given a graph is got by getting rise over run. So what we do is we pick 2 points, so make sure they're real points. So what I mean by that is that they're not halfway between boxes. So you wouldn't go for like in between here because you'd be going in half numbers, okay? So I'm going to take this point here. And then I'm going to take this point here. So that one's 2, 4 and that one's 0, 2. And what you do is you draw a little triangle. Now be careful, I've allowed 2 boxes per number. So this is called my run and this is called my rise. So my run is 2 because it's going from 0 to 2. My rise is also 2 because it's going from 2 up to 4. Okay, and to get the slope is rise over run, so 2 over 2, which is 1. Okay, so let's just do another slope and then we'll come back to so again it's easy to go with this is called the y-intercept. It's where the line hits the y-axis, and if it's a full number go with that and then just pick another point. So I'm going to pick this point here, and again you draw a little triangle. So draw a line over, draw a line down, and you count your rise and your run. So this is my run, this is my rise. I'm going from 3 up to 5, so my rise is 2. I'm going from 0 to 1, so my run is 1. So my slope in this case is rise over run. Rise is 2, run is 1, so my slope is 2. Alright. The last one, again I'm going to take my y-intercept, this number here, and then I'm going to take this one up here. So it doesn't matter how big or small your triangle is, when you cancel down your fraction it's always going to give you the same slope once you've done it right. So again, this is my rise, this is my run is 1, my rise is 1, 2, 3. So slope is equal to rise over run, so 3 over 1, which is 3. Okay, so what the slope means, is that for each step I take on the x-axis, how much do I go up or down to hit the next point on the line? Alright, so I go up 3. So if I went out 1 step, I'd have to go up 3 to hit the line again. If I went out another step, I'd have to go up 3 to hit the line again. Up here, when I go out 1 step, I go up 2. When I go out 1 step, I go up 2 to get the next point. When I go out 1 step, I go up 2 to get the next point. And then this one, when I go out 1, I go up 1. My slope is 1, out 1, up 1, out 1, up 1, and so on. Now, the other thing is an equation of a line y equals mx plus c. So we're talking about linear functions, so all our linear functions are going to look like this. Now the letters might be different, but y equals mx plus c, where m is your slope and c is your y-intercept. So we can get the equation of this line by finding the slope and just looking where does the line hit the y-axis. It hits the y-axis at 2. So my equation of this line is y equals m we found out to be 1, so 1x plus 2, because it's where it hits the y-axis. Okay, so m is your slope and this is y-intercept it's called. Okay, they also call it a starting value in this book, so just be aware of that. Okay, so down here y equals mx plus c. Again, this is slope and this is y-intercept. So y equals, we found our slope to be 2, 2x plus 3. And the last one, y equals mx plus c. M we found out to be 3, excuse me. And c is minus 2, so you just put in minus 2. Alright, so sometimes you're given those, so here c equals 10w plus 35. So instead of y they have c and instead of x they have w, but the slope is the number with the letter at this side, which is 10, and the y-intercept or starting value is 35. C equals 8n plus 50, so my slope is 8, my y-intercept is 50. L equals 5d minus 3, so my slope is 5, my y-intercept is minus 3. y equals 4x plus 9. My slope is 4, my y-intercept is 9. Y equals 5 minus 3x. Be careful here now, it's the number with the x, that's your slope. So they've just written them the other way around. So your slope is minus 3 and your y-intercept is 5. Why would you have a minus? So if you see all these graphs, they go from left to right, they go up. These lines are positive, okay? From left to right, they're going up. If I had a slope that was if I had a line that was going this way, so left to right, it's going down, that's a negative slope. So there we had a minus 3. That's all it means. And from left to right, going this way, is a positive slope. Okay. So let's look at a few questions. Write down the slope and starting value of the sequence created by the functions. So I put this in brackets because all that's saying is y-intercept. So the slope y equals mx plus c. This is my m, this is my c. So the slope is 6. The y-intercept slash starting value is equal to 4. Okay, slope of this one. So be careful. They've written this second, so it's the number with the x. Slope is equal to minus 2, so this is a negative slope. Your y-intercept is 3. Here your slope is 16. Your y-intercept is 2. And here the slope is 3.5 and your y-intercept is minus 5. Okay. So a bricklayer works out his charge using the equation C equals 15 n plus 30, where n is the number of hours he works on a job and C is the charge in euro. Draw a graph. Okay, so it says from 0 to 6. So we can do what we did the other day and change this to y equals 15x plus 30. And we can use the table function on our calculator. If I can find my calculator. Okay, so we're going to go into table. We're going to say 15x plus 30. We're going to start at 0. We're going to end at 6 and we're going to go up in steps of 1. Okay, so we get our points. So I'm just going to write them down. 0, 30, 145, 260, 375, 490, 5, 105, and 6, 120. Okay, so when you're drawing a graph, do that first before you do anything, because it'll depend how big your graph needs to be. So we need to go up to 120. We're obviously not going to do that in individual numbers. So your scales on your two axes can be different. Alright, so here I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then up here, maybe if I go up in tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20. Yeah. Okay, so my first point is 0, 30. So 0, 30, then 145, then 260, 375, 490, 5, 105, and 6, 120. Okay. And you draw your line. Okay. So draw a graph of C against N. So then label your graph. So this is N, this is C. C is in euro. And what's N? Number of hours. Okay. So hours. Alright. So then So the next question says find the slope of the line formed. So pick any 2 points, any 2 at all. I'm just going to pick this one and that one. This is my rise, this is my run. So my run is going from 2 to 5, so that's 3. My rise is going from 60 up to 105. So that's 45. So 105 take 60 gives you 45. So my slope is equal to rise over run, 45 over 3, which gives you 15. Okay, and then find the rate he charges per hour. So slope is what he's charging per hour. So he starts and charges 30 euros for no hours worked, and then when he works 1 more hour it goes up 15, and then when he goes 1 more hour it goes up 15. So his rate is 15 euro per hour. So that's what slope is. Okay. So we'll try some of them. Exercise 12D, page 235, questions 1 to 5 and 9 to 11. Give that a go.